Hello and welcome to my vlog. Today we're going to talk about what happens when you just die. What awaits you? How do you cope with your new life in heaven when you have certain expectations and they may not be met? Let's dive into an example. Who are we? What do we feel when we just pass over from the physical to the spiritual realm? The transition is difficult for many. We are told about the complexities of adjusting by the Reverend Owen's mother, who communicated to him in his book, The Lowlands of Heaven. She tells us about one person who experienced the learning curve. I have only lately seen a very learned writer who had published several books, talking to a lad who, in the earth life, was a stoker in a gasworks, and being instructed by him. He was glad to learn too, for he had partly learned humility, and the curious thing was that he did not so much mind sitting at the feet of this young spirit as going to his old friends here and owning up to past mistakes and his vanity of intellect in his past life. This, however, he will have to do sooner or later, and the young lad is preparing him for the task. It is also whimsical to us to see him still clinging to his old pride, which we know all about him, and his past and present status, which latter is rather low, and all the time trying to think he is hiding his thoughts from us. Social position on earth is no indication of one's place in the hierarchy of the spirit world. A person may be a senator or a chairman of the board of a prestigious company and find themselves at the lowest level after death. What you are born as and what profession you have in life is not dependent on your spiritual level. Allan Kardec tells us, in the course of their different corporeal existences, they may descend in rank as men, but not as spirits. Thus, the soul of one who has been at the pinnacle of earthly power may, in a subsequent incarnation, animate the humblest day laborer, and vice versa. For the elevation of ranks among men is often in the inverse ratio of that of moral sentiments. Harold was a king, and Jesus a carpenter. Hence, we should all try to maintain our inner humbleness, to know we aren't better or superior to others. While we may be on a different spiritual level of understanding, it is our duty to assist all those we are able to help, without condescension, with love and kindness from the bottom of our heart, all the while training our mind to focus on positive thoughts and to not look upon our fellow brothers and sisters as beneath us. Yes, this is difficult, for I fail constantly, for pride often gets the better of me. But as I try to remind myself, as Chico Xavier once said, that I am as inconsequential as a grain of sand. Judgment. Many come over from the earthly life with deep regrets and guilty consciences. They actively seek to be put on trials for wrongs they deem they have committed. One of the companions of Jiva Owen's mother, and who has been working in the spirit world for some time, after she returned to the spirit world, asked the group's mother angel when her judgment will occur. She received the following answer: "My child, your judgment will take place whenever you desire, and from your own words I can tell you that it has already begun, for you own that your past life is worthy of punishment, and that is the first step in your judgment. As to the judge, well, she is here, for you yourself are judge, and will mete out to yourself your punishment. You will do this of your own free will by reviewing all the life you have lived, and, as you bravely own up one sin after another, so you will progress. Much of your punishment you have already inflicted upon yourself in those dark regions from which you have lately come. That punishment indeed was dreadful, but that is past and over, and what you have now to endure will be dreadful no longer. All dread should now be past. Painful, deeply painful, I fear it will be, but all through you will feel that He is leading you, and this more and more as you go on in the right way. Our desire to atone for our wrongs, mentioned from Jesus to Emanuel Swedenborg to Allan Kardec, to the volumes psychographed by Francisco Chico Xavier, all directs us to our most severe critic, ourselves. Our purgatory, our future trials will, for the most part, be demanded by our longing to remove our imperfections, to right what we have wrongly produced. Once we come back in contact with the spirit world, we realize how important it is to cleanse ourselves of our wicked inclinations. We know this because we see the high spirits who are on the road to success. We can determine with our own eyes their state of bliss and their beneficial impact on the lives of others. We wish to expend whatever effort is required to obtain a similar state. Some may seek redemption, others seek praise. Val Owen's mother explains the conundrum that many experience upon their return to the spirit world. This is what perplexes many who come over here. They expect to find all set ready for their dismissal from the presence into torture, and cannot understand things as they are. Others who have cultivated a good opinion of their deserts are much disappointed when they are given a lowly place, sometimes a very lowly one, and not ushered immediately into the presence of the enthroned Christ, to be held with his "well done." Oh, believe me, dear son, there are many surprises awaiting those who come over here, some of a very joyful kind, and others the reverse. Therefore, we should keep our expectations low and accurately weigh our actions on earth, so we may enter the kingdom of heaven in the right frame of mind. Be prepared to listen and follow the advice of those superior to us, for there will be many. Be thankful for their input, for it is meant for our benefit. If you are interested more in how the spirit world guides us, please read my book, How We Are Guided by Spirits, Book 3 of Spiritism. Book 3 illustrates the ground game of the spirit world via the messages of multiple spirits to the Reverend Val Owen. We are presented examples of how the spirit realm above us peers down upon their unruly students. The process of tracking and modifying behavior on an individual and a collective basis is revealed. Even the broader direction of human society in the future is posted for all to see. God bless.